Thank you for being with us here for this, I want to say round table, but it's going to be more like just a chat between myself and these three fantastic creatives who are going to be telling us more about their collaboration with ArianeGroup. We're going to be discussing how Space and Ariane have inspired each one in their respective domains. So I'd just like to rapidly introduce each one. So Mathieu CESAR, he's a photographer. Myriam AïLO, she is a general manager of a French brand called Avnier. Alors, she'll tell us more about that in just a second. And of course, Pyramid, a musical producer. I find that each collaboration is completely in line with ArianeGroup and their vision. And I'm really curious to find out more about how they inspired them and how they're, of course, inspired by space. So, my first question to all of you, really, is how did your respective collaborations come about, or what capacity did you collaborate with ArianeGroup? Mathieu.
So, hello everybody. First, my English is not that crazy, so I'm gonna try to do my best. And so the question is like, should I talk directly about what the project, what I'm doing with Ariane, or?
Yeah. I mean, what capacity have you been working with them?
So my story with Ariane, we met like a year ago, or maybe a year and a half. And since quite long, I started photography because my parents used to sold some vintage books. My mom have a little library. So I've always like been educated by images in a way. And there was this book called People of the 20th Century. And it was like the work of this German photographer called August Sander. And so the idea of this photographer was to crystallize the people around him and the people from Germany. And from unknown to known, from the dentist to the president. So I've always have these things, this concept on the back of my mind. And I was like, what can I do today in 2022 to make something in this way to crystallize the moment and the people that I have around me? And yeah, my idea was like, I've always, since I'm a kid, like I love space and all is around it. So I was like, maybe I can do like my version of this project in a way. So we collaborate and we talk for long to see if this is possible. For me, like to shoot those people that I like, that I know, or that I don't know. But they all represent something for me. And the idea is in collaboration with Ariane. I was like, maybe we can do like send like a bottle in the sea in a way, but in a new version. So it was like send a bottle in space. So I shot those people. Then I give them like a carte blanche. On this carte blanche, they can let a trace. It can be like a draw, a letter, whatever they want. I have no influence on it. And those draws gonna be, how do we say, gravé?
Etched, sketched.
Voilà, sketch on the first flight of Ariane 6 on a special part inside the head of the rocket. And voila, since a year it's become like a big work because like every week I shoot some people who inspire me and I give them the opportunity, and thanks for Ariane to make this possible because it's quite like crazy to send all those things in space.
You can't wait to find out more. Now, Myriam, over to you. Firstly, to those who maybe aren't familiar with the brand, could you tell us more about what the brand is and in what capacity you collaborated with ArianeGroup?
Yeah, of course. Hi, Hailey. Hi, everyone. So, for those who don't know about Avnier, Avnier is a French-Swiss audiovisual workwear brand that has been created in 2014. by two artists, so Aurel San, the rapper and director, and Sébastien Strapazon, the fashion designer and creative director. In the team, we are, they are both of them plus 9 eclectic people coming from different backgrounds, and they have all of them their personalities, and we are super happy to create products that are performant, durable, and ethic. So it's about clothing, accessories, and tools inspired by the audiovisual workwear. So yeah, this is what we do, this is who we are, and if I want to talk about the collaboration with Ariane, ArianeGroup and Avnier wanted to create this dream come true thing by creating the bridge between the space and humanity. So we had this idea of linking both human and space by creating some fashion design collection. So this collection, we named it A plus AG21, AG ArianeGroup A for Avnier. And when we imagined this collaboration, we wanted to get the inspiration from the engineers. So we compiled 40 years of engineering through clothing. And I'm going to talk about the different products later. So this is the main idea. So in order to do this, we didn't have like the creative director imagining something, but we went to Vernon factory with Ariane, and we met all the engineers who told us more about their work, their engineering knowledge, and this knowledge was a huge inspiration to create these clothes.
Fantastic. And Pyramid.
Yes, thank you. Hi. So my name is Pyramid or Etienne. And my story with Ariane is quite special because it has been like surrounded with all these people, not naturally, but then. When I grew up as a kid with a lot of dreams with space, like all of the kids. And then when I've been asked to do music for Ariane, it was like, okay, so as a kid, I grew up dreaming of this like for years and years. I made a lot of music based around space ideas and stuff. And when it arrived, I was like, okay, something is happening, and I need to do it like in the best way I can and to honor like all the childhood dreams I had. So Ariane asked me to do 6 music to represent the brand, like from the origins to the future of the brand. And for me, I was already like super inspired to do a lot of things. And I had the chance to go to Le Muro to see also like how some pieces of the rockets are made and stuff, and it was incredible. And the thing which is crazy now is like I just figured out like I'm connected to Mathieu and Myriam in different ways thanks to Ariane. Like when I did the EP Atmosphere, I was doing the EP in a studio as I was sharing with a really good friend of Mathieu, which is called Thomas Roussel, which is a classical orchestra conductor who helped me with the strings and chords in the EP. And then after that, like when the collaboration with Avnier and Ariane was made, I helped on the music for the videos and stuff. So it's all about connection, and when it happened, it was like, okay, it was almost everything made sense in a way. Like, okay, I was a kid, I was dreaming of this, and now it's all happening, and then it all went like fluidly. I don't know if I can say that, but yes, this is how things happen.
This for me, it's something magical. Like, cause when you are kids, you dream about like being an astronaut or like a fireman, and like fireman, it's something possible. Because like I was fireman at a point.
Okay, good to hear.
And like when you reach the things of astronaut, it's mean like the dream is so far. And like when you receive some email and you see like at ArianeGroup.com, you're like, oh my God, it's like, it's serious, it's happened.
My time has come, I'm going to space.
No, but like, it's funny because he bring me back to school, like when I was like at the mathematics stuff, and like I was like the bad duck of the class. And I wanted like to talk to those teachers to say, look where I am now. I'm at the factory of Ariane with some people who are really on it.
I mean,
So,
it's probably worth mentioning that, you know, you are a renowned photographer, but there was a reason as to why ArianeGroup did actually contact you, because you published a book called Vers l'infini et au-delà, that's to infinity and beyond. Could you tell us more about that? I mean, where did the link between photography and space, and why you wanted to kind of combine these two to make your initial book?
because I think the universe of space is like, for me, like it represents, of course, like music. I can see like, of course, when you think about space, you think about like what you have on your back. It's mean like science fiction movies. And if from science fiction movies you remove the sound, the music, it doesn't look that great. So photography, music, I think it's like some stuff who are part of it. And I don't know, like when you are, I think in life you have obsession on stuff. For me, my obsession is like rockets, fast car, and armor. And finally, when you look at those three different things, there is a link which is like the hardware, like the metals. So yeah, when I start photography, I was at first not interested by real life or documentary things or street photography, but I wanted like I was more interested by fiction. So what I've done for the first time of my work as a photographer, it was like, okay, if I have to do fiction, I'm gonna want to make something around space, something about medieval shit, and Formula One. So
All of that's combined in ArianeGroup.
all
So
is
perfect collaboration. Could you just tell us maybe a bit more about the design process, Myriam? I mean, how does one, when you kind of, you know, the initial collaboration comes about, how do you start working on a collaboration with a company completely associated with space?
Yeah, so at Avnier we use the design thinking process. So it's not the normal thing to do when we work in fashion. Usually you have the creative director or the fashion designer who wants the fashion be like this or like that. But in Avnier we go to the field and we do some user-centered design. So this is how we imagine the different products. So we go to the field, we do some user tests, some interviews, and this is what we did with the Ariane. So Orelsan and Sébastien went to Vernon, and they started talking with the engineers, and they saw all the machinery there, and the process of imagining the rockets and the space and whatever is included in the process for sending rockets to the space. And then back from this experience, they imagined the collection. So if I want to give some examples, the jacket I have, it's called Gravity Jacket. So it's a high-performance jacket. Why? Because it's inspired by the space. Yeah, you can touch it. So the inspiration comes from these rockets. You have, for example, this textile. It's something you see on the rockets, and it's everything that stays on the ground on Earth before going to the space. So whenever you see this in the factory, in Vernon factory, you can see the remove before launch. So you need to take it off and to let the rocket go to the space. So this kind of textile, we used it on the masterpieces we had in the collection. And also when we see this kind of details, you have this on all the machines that you have in Vernon factory. So also in terms of performance, so it's a windbreaker, super
Is this
light.
jacket is fireproof or not?
No, it's not fireproof.
Waterproof?
But it's
Bulletproof?
it's waterproof, and it's a windbreaker, and it's super light because you need to be super light before going to the space. If you need to fly, you have to be super light. So exactly. So what you can do also is that you can take off this jacket. I'm not going to do the experience now, but you can take it off, you can fold it, and you can put it in this pocket. Yeah.
That's super practical.
Exactly. So you
And
can put
after you can eat it.
Great. That's all you need.
Yeah, so you can remove it too. I'm going to show it.
And it's
here.
perfect mobile phone size as well.
Excuse me?
Perfect size for your iPhone or your mobile phone.
Of course, you can put your iPhone, but initially it was imagined to be super light and to be folded and to have the jacket inside this pocket. So you can remove it and yeah, it's a functional, useful jacket.
Pyramid or Etienne, Myriam and Mathieu are talking, of course, about the visit to the ArianeGroup factory. Prior to going there, had you started working on the project? If so, I mean, how did that change your vision and how did that inspire the creative process after that?
So yes, when I started to make the music, I started before going to Le Muro. And I had like all the ideas I had like before. And then when I went there and they made me the tour and I had the chance to see like massive pieces of rockets, and I was like, okay, this is way bigger than what I imagined. And I think you always have like special ideas about how the rockets are made, like because we also so many science fiction movies, we're like, okay, there is like thousands of people with tiny computers and crazy bleeping stuff. And when you arrive there, it's not like this anymore. Like it's super scientific, super like futuristic. It's all really quiet. I was expecting like metal sounds.
Yeah, it was the same for me.
Yeah. And I was, okay, so this is super interesting because there is the way we see this like in movies and the way it's real. So I wanted to still keep the both sides of it, like my imagination and the way I saw it as a kid, and then the way it was actually made. So it had like a big impact in my music. And then the funny thing is, when I arrived, I had a microphone and I tried to record a lot of sounds for the EP to have like natural, organic sounds for it. I kept some, but it was not as much as I wanted because everything is super quiet. And I think it's better for the people who work there to not have like loud sounds all day long. But yeah, it changed my approach in finishing the EP and making music after that, for sure.
So what does this music resemble? Do you know what I mean? The thing is you talk about our preconceived ideas of space, etc., as you said, prior to going to the factory. But what does it sound like? You know, is it War of the Worlds, which is completely like alien invasion?
She asked you to sing something.
No, I mean, what can we expect from your the EP that you produced?
It's like really a mix of like something really personal and deep, I think, and something really real and in the reality stuff. So I really try to mix and match like my feelings, the real sounds, the real way to see rockets. You know, when you grow up, you always think like in the movie like Star Wars and stuff, you hear like lasers in space. But when you realize you can't hear sounds in space, I could have done like an EP like for 6 track and no sound. And like, okay, this is space. Help yourself. But I still wanted to, okay, let's keep real. So real sounds, real mechanic of, I don't know, tools to make rockets. And yeah, imagination and just try to mix and match both.
And so
we use it in underground parties to dance.
Not really, actually. Not this one, because I didn't want it to make a club EP.
No, but it's funny what he said, because last week I looked at the making of the sound design of the movie First Man, and they was talking about like how they make like the sound design of the capsule when she re-entry, and they were saying that it's quite silent, so they have to add like so many other things like lions noise and stuff like that to make it like something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you need creativity to make things like believing like you can feel it could be real if it wasn't like in a movie. but then you realize it's not.
You're a music producer, and your music, if you will, is electronic music. Now, actually, it's more ingrained and more deeply rooted than just taking, a musical producer who specializes in this genre, because it's also electronic music is probably around 40 years old, as is.
Yeah. Like I think the roots of electronic music came normally with a lot of French guys, but the guys who like made it mainstream or popular was Kraftwerk, the German guys, and then it took like a incredible step in music. Like it was a different way of bringing sounds to life and trying to make like human emotions with synthetic sounds and synthesizers, which was really hard at this time. But you can see like today, like electronic music is everywhere. You can hear it in rock music, in rap music, in everywhere. It like took the place in all genres.
So just as ArianeGroup is celebrating its 40th year, as is, this is how they're celebrating it with these collaborations, as the same goes for electronic music, which is, really deeply rooted in French, German kind of, this very really comes from electronic music from both these countries. So I think this is a good representation of that, and for you to kind of go back on that and to produce something that, and go really further back, go back to Kraftwerk, for example, and get inspired by that. I think that's a fantastic collaboration to have.
I think it is, but it's we have like deep French roots of electronic music in here, it's for sure. But it all has been Laurent Garnier, Daft Punk, all this guy Air. But nowadays, like it all has been inspired by all over the world. Like I think American science fiction movies had a big impact, like 2001, Contact, or even Alien for the mechanics and stuff. And
in Alien, they say in space no one can hear you scream.
Exactly, that's true.
I mean, even with regards to fashion, we, in the IAC here in Paris is completely in line with, where we are, the situation, the fact that, in ArianeGroup, etc., that they launched this capsule with a French brand. Can you tell us maybe a bit more about the design process, how the chief designer worked on each individual piece, what he took into into consideration, etc.?
When we imagined the collection with Ariane, actually we had different products. So we had the caps, the hoodies, the t-shirts. So Etienne has the hoodie, and I have one of the jackets. So we had some software products, and then we did some masterpieces, 5 of them. So we have this gravity jacket, and we had also a poncho, a volcano poncho, and another parka jacket, like the blue one. And actually, when we imagined these pieces, so as I said before, we were inspired by the knowledge of the engineers at ArianeGroup. And it was super, super inspiring. And we even for us, when we imagine creating fashion for space, it's like a dream come true, like we took the rocket also when we imagined the products and the pieces. And the incredible story about this, we dropped in November last year, and in 2 days we were sold out of all the products. So everyone was calling us, where are the products of Ariane? And we said, there is no more, we're sorry. So it was like a dream come true.
Maybe via this collaboration, were you able to reach out to another kind of clientele, maybe more interested in space, or maybe more very fashion orientated and focused?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was a huge inspiration, this fashion collection for all the engineers at Ariane. And also I think we touched another target in our consumers. So it's not only, when we talk about Avnier, it's more an audiovisual workwear, so it touches the backstage music and cinema lovers. And I think all these people, they have this dream to go to the space and imagine the space, and like working with Ariane inspired also different targets than the 2040 people, like in terms of age. It inspired also engineers and their kids, and like it went like so large in terms of target people we targeted in this collection. So the communication was super wide, and I think for those who didn't know about Avnier before, so they had this chance to discover this brand, and for the kids who loves Avnier, they were also interested in whatever Ariane's doing, and they were like, I can wear something coming from the space, you know, like
it's a win-win.
Exactly.
Because I know you do several collaborations, but this one in particular, you know, when you describe each individual detail on that windbreaker, for example, I mean, it's fascinating. Even you showed me earlier, there's like underneath on the Velcro, there's the ArianeGroup's logo.
I will show you now.
Définition, as you say in French.
Yeah, and definition, it's we have this the ArianeGroup logo here. When we remove the pocket, we can see the branding beyond the visible design. So yeah.
I guess it's also that kind of, you know, buying into a dream somewhere along the line, you know, being able to wear clothes that resemble or have some kind of, you know, affiliation with space. You know, we all mentioned here, I think everyone here has always dreamed of, as a kid, wanting to go to space or be an astronaut. And, you know, and you do get that with not only, you know, something that does have that direct link with ArianeGroup, but also such a practical, everything is, you know, every tiny detail is so well thought and linked.
Exactly. Imagined. Actually, we were inspired by the space, and the designers designed it based on whatever they saw at Vernon factory. It's they were inspired by each and every detail from the engineering details and the knowledge we had and we met at Vernon factory. So it was a huge chance for us. Even like when we are like a normal person, we don't know these details. Like when you remove before launch, we don't imagine that they do this, or they have all these, and it's all colored in purple like this. So when you don't go to the factory, you cannot tell this is how it goes. So it was super interesting for us to discover all this.
I bet. And Mathieu, how did the visit to the factory change your vision with regards to maybe not necessarily the project that you're working on now, but just globally with regards to photography? I mean, how did that influence you?
I mean, it's quite close what Etienne was saying. Like you have the imagination you have from what is space and what is a space factory, and yeah, I was quite surprised of like. It's not, I mean, it's a lot of people, of course, but it's not that a lot of people, and everybody have like, everybody really working on something. And when you, yeah, on the fiction, you have these things like they all do something that you doesn't understand. And finally, when you go there, like you understand what the people's doing. And sometimes it's like, okay, it's more simple in a way, but like it's real. I don't know. It's a sentiment hard to explain, but
what do you actually see there? Like concretely, what is there?
Alors, so you arrive.
Okay, open the door.
First, you open the door. First, in my case, like I never have my passport, so it's like a massive problem.
Okay.
So
with regards to construction, what did you actually get to see?
No, but it's exactly what you have in your dream. Like there is those things with many computers, and yeah, what was impressive for me is like as everybody here, I grew up in France with Ariane in the 90s was like huge things, especially Ariane 5. So I arrived in this project. It's the end of Ariane 5 and the beginning of a new things. So I get the chance to see the 3 last Ariane 5 on the factory, and they are not like that. They are like that. So yeah, it's like it's huge. Everything is huge.
Much bigger than the Ariane 6 outside.
Oh, much bigger.
I think we
like
which is a
4
mock-up,
times bigger.
incidentally. Huh?
I think we can see in the clip. I don't know if we can see the for the communication we did a film showing everything we saw at the factory, also with the huge computers and the engineers and everything we do there.
I have to say about something at the factory, and you don't use these things on your collection. There is something really nice. There is some overshoes that you put on your shoes. I think there is not a fashion brand who is doing that at the point. It can be like a hit.
I say nothing.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, when you put the security thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we didn't do it. Yeah.
I'm gonna make it.
Okay. Now, can you just tell us a bit more about this project you're currently working on? I know it's a bit top secret. Of course, you did Vers l'infinity et au-delà, but obviously now you're collaborating with ArianeGroup, as you mentioned initially, on a top secret collaboration which you just revealed. But
Yes,
you know,
no.
how close are you to finishing it? When will we be able to see? I mean, what is
only I think a month of work, and we are done with this project. It was like quite a big thing for me because like I'm used to work with a team and people, and for this project I wanted something really more personal. So I contact by myself the people. I went by myself to the people. I wanted like everybody to. I wanted all the people that I put in this project. I wanted to shoot them in their place.
So each individual portrait that you took of them, was that inspired by space, or is it just the actual
No, for me,
concept
like
of
my
what-
first book was about like the dream of space,
Right.
and this one it was more like to bring the earth on space.
Okay.
So it's a little bit the inverse.
So who did you take? Who will we find in this
Many
project?
people from an Holocaust survivor to a French president to music producer to my grandma. Like it's
Great.
really like a
Fantastic.
diversity project.
Yeah, I see that. So Myriam, just with regards to the results of this collaboration, you said it was sold out in 2 days. Is that right?
Yes, in 2 days, nothing remained in the stocks. So yeah, we.
It's a collaboration that really took off.
Yeah, even if the anecdote out of this, I didn't get the chance to have a product for me. So when I wanted
neither.
to come today to to the IAC, I asked for, this is a prototype, so it's not even the
Which is
production.
better.
Huh?
Which is better.
Which is super like rare to have it. So, yeah, so it was sold out in 2 days, and I'm super proud of the results and of the huge communication we had at ArianeGroup and Avnier. We worked super well together. We were like one team. Not usually when you do collaboration, you have like 2 teams combining their expertise and their know-how, and I think with this collaboration we did a sort of feedback after the experience. I think we were like a family, imagining stuff together and working the communication together and the products together. So it was really amazing the energy that we had, Ariane and Avnier. I'm super happy, super proud to be part of this huge adventure. Yeah.
But on the creative process, do you get some sample of you was talking about this purple material, for example?
Yeah, actually, we asked Sandra to give us like we really searched for this sort of textile. So we did some research, and when we did the products, we went to an atelier in Annecy to imagine the masterpieces. We didn't do them in the fashion factories immediately, so we needed to do some prototypes to test them, because if it's a windbreaker or des perlants or like, yeah, we need to test the product and to make sure whatever we're saying is true, you know. So yeah, we did some research, and we had a big problem finding this kind of textile. So yeah,
So it's real technical wear inspired by real.
Exactly, it's a technical wear. Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, I really get this impression you were given a lot of liberty. All three of you. You were given, carte blanche, if you will, to kind of really, here's a concept, here's like the blurb, take of it, just get inspired and go with, of course, the assistants going to the factory and such like. I mean, how did it work out for you? Where can we listen to Atmosphere? I mean, can you tell us more? Because Atmosphere is the name of the EP.
Yeah.
Where can we hear it? Where can we listen to it?
It's available everywhere, like on Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music and stuff. And yeah, I just wanted to bounce back on the fact, like, when I've been approached to make music for Ariane, I was like kind of really surprised to say like, okay, when I worked with Sandra, she asked me like, okay, we want to try to make a new like way of making marketings and stuff, and we want to like expand the way to reach people. And I think music was probably one of the first ways to enlarge the audience, maybe, or to reach new targets. So it was like a massive deal for me to like, okay, I have to represent the brand and to stay myself and to make music that can speak to everyone while speaking about space. And now when I see like, so working with Avnier, which is Orelsan's brand, which is like quite a big deal in France, it's massive. Mathieu, which is like a renewed photographer in France. I love to see the brand like to open like a lot of doors to approach new people. So it's
yeah. What I think what was cool, and I think is the same for all of us. It was like a real carte blanche, and I think they in a way get like these things of like if we want to make like a cool project, something really will look like us, we have to feel free on the creative process. And I work a lot as a photographer. I do a lot of commercial job, and I know what is it to reply to the demand of a client. And yeah, this project it was more like accompagnement. I don't know what to say, but like, it's good to work like that, and I think that's a real luck to have this, because like it's a new way of doing marketing that makes the things to get out some stuff beautiful. Like for example, when I talk about another brand, which is NASA. Today, like NASA mean everything and nothing. You don't know what is it, like you see the symbol. It's a logo more than what it means something.
It became a brand.
You just use the brand. Yeah. You don't live the experience. And with Ariane, you live the experience. Nothing is impossible. So you can experience by yourself whatever it's happening there. And it's not like it's not only a marketing storytelling. It's a true thing.
I haven't felt that at any point on the project.
I think that's really interesting with these collaborations. It's completely in line with ArianeGroup. Without, as I say, it's not sponsoring. It's really kind of, I guess somehow, as someone who's always, as we all have, dreamed of space, you're kind of waking up like, oh, okay, relating, putting little links to fashion, to photography, to music, and we've all kind of felt something. That's how we imagine, space outfits would look like, and space photography. We're just looking at some of your photos, and then even then with your music, with your EP, you're just kind of, utilizing all of that and making this beautiful kind of creative work out of it. I say once again, it's completely in line with the group, and you all had, of course, free reign to do what you wanted and had that liberty. So I think it was quite an exceptional experience. But what are your main takeaways from this collaboration that you had with ArianeGroup?
I think like the way you said about NASA, it's a good way of rethinking it. Like for me, NASA like gave the logo to people, and I think we worked in a way like to serve Ariane and not the opposite. So we had to keep all the ideas of space, and not like the imaginative world about space, but still the real way of thinking about space, about spaceships, crafting, rockets, and engineering and stuff. So we had to put our inspirations to the way of seeing space as a real thing. And so
yeah, it's a sort of space-centered design. It's not only a label that we used. Lots of fashion brands collaborated with the NASA, and it was just take the logo and put it on the fashion. And
yeah, this is real collaboration. Like, it's really, okay, I want to do that, how we can do it to make it happen.
It's a hand-in-hand stuff. We work together. It's not only I'm gonna send you the Illustrator document and you just work with the logo. It's like, come, we open Vernon factory and you can see by yourself what's happening.
It's like an artistic interpretation of the universe. I mean, in the universe in the sense of ArianeGroup, and I think that's what you're getting at, rather than just putting a logo on it. It's how each individual outlet has been inspired and interpreted artistically the brand and the experience.
The thing is, like, when we all been approached, we all been like welcomed to the Ariane family. Like, we met all the team, all the people. Like, it's real. They all have been like super nice. They presented us all the things we wanted to know. And like,
curious.
And curious, yeah. And it was like we are not engineers, so we can't understand everything. But
you are a bit.
Yeah, a bit.
And what's amazing, it's the availability of the team at Ariane. Like, whenever we had a question, they were always there, answering, opening doors, and trying to connect us with each and every person who can help. So it's a true collaboration. Actually, it's a super interesting human experience.
We felt it was important to have connections. That's it.
So before I ask the audience if they have any questions, just what were your main takeaways from this experience? I mean, what did you learn? Mathieu.
I think for me, except all the space things, I get out from my comfort zone in a way. So this project was really like, I was like, okay, I doesn't know I could shoot like so many people in different places in a year. So I get out from this little bit stronger in a way. And what it takes me away once again that like, if you think about something, you can make it. And your dreams can become true. I know it's easy to say in a way, but like, when I was a kid, I doesn't know that one day I'm gonna put something in a rocket. It was gonna flew in space. So on this, I'm gonna keep this something magic.
Okay, Myriam.
For me, it was like my takeaways. I think it's more about I'm super proud that we did this collaboration, and I think Avnier and Ariane, thanks to Ariane, we went to the skies with them. And I'm super happy using fashion as a link, as a bridge between the space and the humanity. And like, being part of such a project is a great experience that I can tell to my kids and to my grandsons later. So I'm super happy being part of this, and all Avnier team is super grateful for the chance we had making this story come true.
Yeah, it's true. It's something like you can a bit show off. Like you won't say like, okay, I made music for yogurts, but you say, okay, I made music for rockets, and it's already like, wow, okay. But yeah, like
it depends what kind of yogurt.
The what?
It depends what kind of yogurt.
Yeah, it's true that. But like Mathieu said, it's kind of really simple, but it's true. Like, I just made like a dream, a child dream, like becoming true. So yeah, I made music for rockets. For me, it's like crazy, and it felt like a lot of responsibility to me to like, okay, I have to make the best music possible to represent the brand and stuff. So
we all feel a little bit astronaut today.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're all astrophiles underneath there. So once again, I'd like to thank each one of you, Mathieu CESAR, Myriam AïLO, and Pyramid. Pyramid, we can listen to your EP, Atmosphere, on Spotify. Myriam, unfortunately, it's all sold out, but we can still buy hoodies and merchandise of the collaboration in, no, not even. Not even the hoodies?
Nothing. Sold out.
You have to wait Ariane
Snooze,
7.
you lose.
We need to do another
There we go.
collaboration.
So we have to wait for the next collaboration. And your project, where and when and how can we find out more about it?
By the launch of Ariane 6.
Great. Fantastic. And will it be on social media, I imagine?
Voila.
Voila.
You're going to hear about it.
Fantastic. Now over to you. Does anyone in the audience have any questions for our guests today?
Someone sleeping there. I think we were quite boring.
Everyone's sleeping. Yes.
Enjoy.
Sir. You'll have to shout unless you want to come up here and take the mic. Oh, we have a mic over there. Nope. I think this gentleman here. There we go.
Hi, I'm Brian Barnett, and I'm CEO of Solstar, and we're the company that did the first Wi-Fi in space, commercial Wi-Fi in space, and the first commercial tweet from space on Jeff Bezos's New Shepard rocket a couple years ago. And we're doing the Wi-Fi inside the Lunar Gateway space station, which is a space station that will be going around the moon. But anyway, I'm also a drummer, so I have a brand called Drums Astro because I want to be the first drummer in space as well. So anyway, it's been really great to hear people who have thought about the same things I've thought about for a long time, especially Pyramid. So I just listened to your Spotify just now a little bit. So it's great. And if you think about playing the drums in space, I mean, we're totally dependent on gravity.
Okay, that's a good goal.
You have the people who are in charge of it here.
Excellent. Anyway, if you think about any musical instrument and trying to play that in space, it's just there's different issues going on without gravity. So
That's a really good point, actually. Did you take that in consideration, the fact that...
Of course, I would love to have my music already just played in space. Like, nobody would hear it because there is still no sound in space. But still, yeah, I never know. Maybe it will wake some people.
I think it's quite easy, no?
I don't know.
But the sound wouldn't be same, would it?
Nah, yeah. Just in rockets, but not in space.
Ah.
Next step.
Next question.
Hi, I was curious, when you approach such a technical organization for collaboration, what was like one of the more difficult things that happened initially, and how did you overcome it?
Good question. What was the most difficult thing that you might have experienced, and how did you overcome it, the initial collaboration? Did you have any complications initially? Were there any, I don't know?
No, for me, personally, it was the fact to respect the brand and not to go too far into imaginative world and to, okay, let's keep Ariane for what it is. So yeah, this was the most difficult for me because I made like 6 tracks which represent the past and the future of the brand. So yeah, what helped me is the way like we talked a lot with Ariane to say, okay, what do you want? Which way you want? They go like, okay, you have carte blanche, so you can do whatever you want, but when they show me Les Mureaux, when I had the opportunity to talk with everyone in the group, it really helped me to like, okay, I need to focus on the good balance between imaginative and real world. So this was a difficulty to me.
For us, it was more about finding the materials, the textile. So we had a huge issue finding these materials. So we had some delays with the providers, and we needed to stick to the plan. We didn't stick to the plan. It was okay. But yeah, we had some issues finding the materials. And what was cool with it is that, as I said before, we were a family. Ariane and Avnier we are a family. So each and everyone tried to find some providers and give the contact, and we did our best to find each detail for the product. So yeah, it was like a teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
And for me, it was like, if the idea was like make a dream crew to sail in space, what was complicated for me is like really work on the diversity, because there is a lot of people, like 85 people or quite a lot of people. So, yeah, my idea was make like a dream crew in a way. So the biggest part of the work, it was like, okay, if I was in space with who I wanted to be, and so it's not easy when you ask yourself this question. So I try to.
You want to be with the 85 you have?
Yeah.
Like, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Can't wait to see the list.
no, but the list is quite interesting. But
Did anyone say no?
yes,
Really?
yes.
Okay.
It's I can say who is it. It's Quentin Dupieux, which is a electro music artist called Mr. Oiseau, as known as Mr. Oiseau, and he replied to me, "Me, I'm good. I'm staying here."
Well, too bad for him. We have another question. Thank you very much for your question. Yes.
Hi, I was wondering if any of you guys have another upcoming projects, either with ArianeGroup or space-related, now that you got all inspired by your respecting projects.
Great question. Well, you do.
Me, in March. I'm actually shooting my first movie, and I'm actually building a rocket in my garden.
Good to hear.
I stay in the field.
Space related, no, but we have other collaboration coming up with some audiovisual positioning. And
Already sold out.
no, not yet. They're not online yet, but yeah, and we are working also equipping some backstage for 3 films in France and 1 series in Switzerland. So we are equipping all the backstage, the directors, the DOPs, the filmmakers. So yeah, we're working on this, and we have like 3 collaboration coming up in 2023. I cannot say who, what, where.
Yeah, same here. I have a lot of projects. I can't say with who I'm working with right now, but yeah, I'm producing a lot of big artists. I will be able to say it like when it will be done. But yeah, I'm producing a lot, and I hope I will have the chance to work again with Ariane. I would love to.
And if you need a drummer, we have one here.
Yes, it's in my head.
Thank you so much for the time for this exchange, if you will, for chatting to us about your respective projects. It sounds like you had great time working with ArianeGroup, and yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for taking part, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
And thank you,
Thank you.
Sandra. Thank you.